Hello everyone.
Hi,
My name is Mackenzie.
Sanil.
He doesn't have to even state his name because this man here is a celebrity.
Woo.
He has the best music and you can listen to anytime, any day. A little background. Sanil and I go way back. We've been friends since high school. He's the very first person I met in high school, and I had no idea on our first meeting that we'd be great friends. But then we've actually been good friends ever since. So today we're here to talk about Sanil Day.
Yep.
What's Sanil Day about?
Sanil Day is a celebration for. I thought about like doing something to celebrate every year that I have in the music scene. So I had my first song out on 3rd April in 2020. So I decided to start a Sanil Day to like mark this birthday of some sorts.
It's definitely a good advent into the industry. It's a difficult industry, I know, and you're doing great work. You're doing good work, and the kind of music that you're making, it's definitely touching people's hearts a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, I know your fans are really expecting a lot in the coming years. So, what has it been like for you in the last 2 years?
A lot of lessons, a lot of good times. Sometimes you'll get frustration.
Yeah.
Teamwork will always find a way to test your patience properly. So,
Yeah.
but there are also good people who we have found along the way. And of course, the best part of it is when you actually do things and people relate to them and like them. Yeah, that is inspiring.
And talking about inspiration, what's your general design behind the lyrics? How do you come up with such catchy lines? You know.
I think it's just talent. It's just there. The idea behind the design behind the lines was like to talk about the inspiration behind the music. And there are some songs you can listen to for ages, and then one day you realize, oh, so this is what this person was trying to say.
Yeah.
So I figured many people probably get that kind of thing, and I thought I could help them actually get what inspired some of these things or what some of them talk about.
And actually, besides talent, I can attest to the fact that you've really worked hard at this. Since we were in high school, you've always been greatly involved in music.
Yeah,
Actually, you play the saxophone.
I do.
I remember very fondly you and I doing duets of Safaricom, Niko na Safaricom, violin and saxophone. That was really nice. I think it's something that we should pick up sometime again.
Yeah.
No, come on. Anapenda naija, toto light skin, backstreet aminja. Ako, nakeja daiga, uko juja, anawabakisha. Take a trip to Dubai, post kwenye bed sita hanandai. No, skiza trip anadai, coast, nahadai kuliba, coast.
So let's talk about your first song,
Aha.
Friendzone.
Yep.
So before Sanil gives you a background of this song, Neil started writing this song back in 2015 while you were in Form 2 that time. And I remember reading through the lyrics, and that time, he hadn't grown as he has grown that much. But then the song, you finally produced the song in 2020, April.
Yeah.
So what's your inspiration behind the song? How did you contextualize people's feeling in such an interesting way?
So the original story behind Friendzone was that I got the Friendzone thing in high school, and then people talk about character development. Sisi tuko na miaka. So when this happened, what I used to have in mind was that I'd do this song and then I'd hit, I'd become a star, and then this person would be seeing me on TV and feeling like she made a very bad decision. Oh, nilisikia wapi. So yeah, that's what initially was there. Then when I completed high school now, I met Pink, who unfortunately left us 2 years ago, rest his soul, and he helped me now to co-write this, but now with the same message but in a different version, because you see the Friendzone that happens in high school and post high school has different elements. There's a lot that has changed. So yeah, that the new version of it now captures different things that were not there previously.
Nairobi imefanya watu ile kitu. Anyway, welcome to Nairobi Institute of Character Development. Huyu jamaa alianzia character development high school, I can attest. Just look for me. I'll tell you the stories.
It's been real.
It's been a rough. It's been a rough year. Not year actually. It's been a rough decade for this man. So, friends on we know it's something that a lot of people are struggling to get out of.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips how we can get ourselves out? Asking for a friend.
Well, just respect yourself. When I wrote an article this week about scarcity and how people value you more when you're scarce. So yeah, never be too available. Akufukuzae, akuambi toka.
Bas. Actually,
We'll talk about that.
we'll talk about that in the next few minutes. And there's this specific line, yeah. And actually, this is an experience a lot of people have had, including me. So the thing is, like, you are talking to this lady, probably fine, a very fine lady, and mna text, umemtext hi or something, you've poured your heart out in a paragraph. Alafu maybe umemwambia kuja tuende Java or because I can't afford Java. Wait. Maybe one of those small restaurants. Then and ignore all those texts, but an post status. That thing hurts. Have you been there before?
I have. I hate those are those things you hate to have to admit, but yeah, been there, done that. But we get wiser and we learn to respect ourselves. But yeah, that line actually was inspired by something of the sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys have heard, the secret ni kujiheshimu, of which we are going to talk about kujiheshimu in just a little while.
Yeah.
Anagawa mali ni kama ni basari. Peana. Squeezy naona kama failure kwa form za cannabis. Ita zero. Vile unataka, ishi life vile unataka. Jibambe, society jipange. Vile unataka, ishi life vile unataka. Jibambe, society jipange. Solo alisarechua ende kucheza ball.
So before we get to kujiheshimu, let's talk about the song that actually really defines you, yeah? The song that really defines people out here. I mean, the people of our age. Vile Unataka. Yeah? That is the song that brought you into the limelight. That is a song that everyone will associate with Sanil. And a lot of your Wakili Akili blogs, they really touch on Vile Unataka.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so how I wrote this song, it was 2020, we were at home, and then I decided to get locks. I used to have longer hair than what I even have right now because it was artificial. So the day I did my hair, I got up in the morning, I had an afro. It's artificial.
Yeah.
So I get out and leave home with an afro. I come back and I have rastas. We had visitors, so it wasn't much of an issue that day, but I was seeing the eyes. Then after a couple of days is when now the stories started coming. Watu wanauliza kwa nini unakaa hivi, we ni wakili, judge atakubali uende aje koti ukiwa na rasta, hii nywele ni ya Wamungiki, sijui nini. So I'd get all those comments from people around. Interestingly, none of them ever came to ask me about this. For reasons they probably best know. So that shows that even them, they knew it's none of their business, but they're just being nosy. Yeah. So I started thinking of how I can write a message to people to actually be themselves, but the inspiration wasn't coming. So I just combined those ideas, and then the day I retouched my hair, now after some couple of weeks, the same stories came back. And so that afternoon, I just went and sat down and all those things people had been telling me they are told, all those things I'd been seeing people being told, I just combined them and got a song. In 30 minutes, I had the whole thing done.
That is creativity to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can't even write a composition in 30 minutes. I actually struggled a lot with such things. But this man wrote a really good song within 30 minutes. And actually, the thing about hair, what's this with African adults with hair? What's this?
Colonialism.
Yeah.
A lot of those stereotypes people have are things that came from colonial times when people would be taken into slavery and their hair would be cut off.
Yeah.
And the notion was that whatever whites wanted was what was professional, was what was neat. So yeah, it's about emancipation of people's minds.
And the funny thing is, I've actually seen a lot of, for example, my uncle, I won't mention which one, but actually my grand uncle, in his early years, he had this very big afro, yeah, very big afro. In fact, most of his brothers actually also had afro. People of that time, it was
Yeah.
the in thing. But now, me keeping long hair, it's somehow a problem.
Tension, yeah.
It's a tension. There's some tension going on. I don't understand. I think one thing I've learned from the Unataka song is that you can't judge people by simple things such as hair or dressing, you know.
Yeah. And you also can't please everyone.
Definitely. And one specific line in Vile Unataka is pedi wangu anakwanga amenyoa. Yeah?
Amenyoa kipara.
Amenyoa kipara.
Well, I don't have a pedi to begin with, but I think the message I was just passing there is there are so many people. So like kama that thing of saying Mungiki ndo wako na rasta, and like the people who have short hair, the ones who are considered good people.
Yeah.
It was just to show that there are actually a lot of bad people out there, people who
True.
do wrong things, who actually dress very nicely. Look at the politicians you have in Kenya. They're smart, quote unquote. They have those expensive suits and ties and short hair that society considers good.
True.
But they are not good people at all.
Yeah.
And
this may become a bit, you know, it may spook some people, but Hustler na ule jamaa wenyu wa 6K wanakwanga wamenyoa, ona vitu wanawafanyia.
Yeah.
So, another, there's a line that I couldn't, I couldn't quite place. Yeah? Bro wa Suzy
Anamshopia maboli.
anamshopia maboli. So
Well,
what does that mean?
When I was writing this song, I was relatively new to songwriting. Right now, I think I am more intentional with the things I say. So this one, the rhyme was just coming that way, and I just put it there. That's notwithstanding what it tried to communicate, though far-fetched. In African societies, a lot of things to do with cooking are always considered like feminine duties.
Yeah.
And men are not supposed to be found anywhere near the kitchen or buying kitchenware or something. It was more like something to demystify that whole concept that men are not supposed to be involved with kitchenware and things like that.
And in the Vile Unataka song, you really emphasize on following passion. And you are one of the people that have actually, you've shown that passion actually pays. And passion is what drives most successful people.
Yeah.
And another thing that I saw clear was the idea of judgment. Even the people in the church are being judged just because they fell pregnant. I mean, who doesn't get pregnant? I'm not saying you go get pregnant unless you want to, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
So what's your parting shot on Vile Unataka?
That everyone should live their life how they want to, provided it does not interfere with other. Because I can be living my life Vile Nataka, but I'm infringing on your rights. So it's important to have that respect, yeah?
True.
Don't, in the process of living your life, don't harm others, and also don't harm yourselves.
Very well.
Yeah.
My heart is so fond of you, but I reason with my brain I will get over you, even though it is a pain. Wish that I could change your mind, but I know you'll never leave him, even though I treat you kind and he never does that. So we're never ever gonna go for holidays in Mecca, just because you settled down for a heartbreaker. Never kiss your forehead just to let you know you're special. Never get you packages when you're on your period. And even though I really love you, I'm gonna get over you. Cause when it's all said and done, you'll be my favorite working.
One thing I really love about your music is that your music is very dynamic, yeah? One time you're listening to, gangster stuff, and the other time you're listening to sad nigga hour songs, eh? So our next song is What If? I don't know if you know, but What If is your most streamed song on Spotify.
Yeah, it is.
And you did this song with the Kinoti.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check out his YouTube as well. Kinoti is a very talented musician.
I think it's actually attached on the song.
Oh, okay.
On the song link, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your inspiration behind What If?
Okay, mtu wa kamera uko na Kleenex. So, What If for me is an interesting song because it was written in flashback. As you know, many of the songs I write, it's something that happens. Writing for me is a way of therapy and expressing myself. So when these things happen, I write about them. this one happened. I didn't think it was significant, and then along the way I decided to write it.
Nairobi.
Okay, this one is not as Nairobi as others, but
Uh-huh.
somehow. So the story behind What If. I met this person, my favorite What If. My favorite What If is a Muslim girl who is an amazing human, I must say, a generous person, all those beautiful qualities.
Yeah.
And we used to hang out a lot together, spend time together. Yeah. So in the process of this interaction, I used to get a lot of compliments about how I'm such a nice person, But for me, it was just a compliment. Overthink utaua vibes. So it wasn't anything serious. But the compliments kept coming and coming. You know, Kenyan girls never shoot their shots directly. They start telling you zile vitu za, hey, kijana handsome kama wewe, haezi kosa dem. Those lines. So in the compliments continued coming, nilijiita meeting nikajiuliza, huyu mtu, are you sure there isn't something she's saying that she's not saying? So I said I will focus and pay some attention to this and see whether there's anything being said here that is not being said.
Yeah.
So subsequently we started. I have a friend called Mr. I think you know him.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Ray.
He produced for me Punguza
Good musician as
Siasa.
well.
Yeah, and we also have a song in future we're working together on. So you should be on the lookout for that as well.
This is exciting.
So in one of his songs he says, kabla shoot your shot, be ready for recoil. That's when you shoot your shot with a gun, it pushes you. So in the process of being ready for recoil, we were testing the waters with those hypothetically questions, which are not very hypothetical. And I was ticking many boxes, except from the part of religion, because apparently in Islam, if you have to marry someone who's Muslim, there are those things about conversion and what. So yeah, that went on for a while, and then one day I decided to put all the cards on the table to see what actually the possibility of this thing is, and the resolution was that religion is a big deal.
Okay.
And that ended. It was not very Nairobi. It was like, okay, no bad blood, no nothing. So years later, on the streets of the internet, and then now this was when. So let me first of all tell you about how we met with Kinoti, and then how now the song came up. So Kinoti is my schoolmate in law school, but we had never met in person. The first time I saw him, he had done a challenge for Pombe Sigara. He won the Pombe Sigara challenge.
Oh, nice,
actually
nice.
On YouTube. So when he did this, I saw it on YouTube, and then one day we had a talent show at school, and he came to perform. That's when we knew him. So you see, the way in adulting, you always tell your friends, we need to hang out soon.
Yes.
So in music, the equivalent of that is we should work out on a song together.
Yeah.
Then you keep saying it, and it never happens. So in another talent event again at school, we now met for a second time, and we were still like, we need to work on a song together.
Yeah.
So when we were in this period of we need to work on a song together, I came across another story on the internet now by someone who had a similar story with What If, whereby this was now a lady. She was a student, I believe, in the US, and then she met a Muslim guy from some other country. They got along together, but the religion thing was also an issue for them. And then in her writing, she finished by saying, he'll always be my favorite What If. So that's where the inspiration came. So when this happened at the time when I was thinking of writing a song with Kinoti, I thought that I should actually do something with this, with those R&B kind of vibes. Yeah. So that's how I now got back to that experience 4 years ago and tried to put the lyrics in it. And also I should tell you this, so after the What If thing happened, this person actually went and found somebody else who's now Muslim, Abdallah Fulani, akapigwa character development for the books.
Ouch!
So that's actually why the chorus says we are never gonna go for holidays in Mecca, because Mecca is a very significant thing in the Muslim calendar. And then just because you settled down for a heartbreaker. Yeah.
This is such an amazing story, and I know a lot of you can relate, and a lot of you can actually relate to this song because the situationships and relationships that are not working out there, a lot of them, and we will have our favorite what ifs in our book.
And also I think it captures more, apart from the religion, there are other factors sometimes that limit people. Finance, Kinoti's verse talks about settling for the guy with the money.
Oh, yes.
So you find that you have someone you'd have had a beautiful story with, but because they had this person who had more money than you.
Yeah.
Tribal issues, their communities were told, don't even think about it. And sometimes these people are actually nice people, but they start. So it talks. It's more about the barriers that come in the way of potentially beautiful stories.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking about financial capabilities and things like that, Wababas are giving us a run for our own money, the money that we don't have in the first place.
Even the young ones.
Even the young ones, we're in danger.